Hello everyone, I'm coming to you live from the last day of Insight. It's been quite the party out here and I'm slightly hoarse, so bear with me. But today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my career path and try to give you some tips for mentors dealing with people new to the industry or for people who are new, just figuring out your own career path. So I'm here at Insight giving sessions this year, and that's something I've really been wanting to do for a while. To give you some context on how I got here, let's start at the beginning. I went to Virginia Tech for my computer science degree, and my first year there, I got to take some computer science courses. Normally you do general engineering there, but I started out with programming courses, and I got to go to a career fair on computer science. And I was a freshman, and I didn't really think that I would be able to get anything, but I went anyway, and I actually ended up with an internship at Microsoft. So I flew out to Seattle, Washington that summer, Redmond, and I got some great experience from that. But I also learned that teams are very different. So the experience you have on one team is very different from the experience you'll have on another, especially in a really big company. And the team I was on, some parts of it I really liked, and some parts of it I thought, I really want to try something different. So the next year I got the opportunity to go to the Grace Hopper Conference through my school, and I highly recommend anyone that's in college, you check out whatever opportunities you have to go to conferences, because they're a great way to network and meet people. And at this conference, I met NetApp, which is where I work today. I am a hybrid cloud architect at NetApp, by the way. So I met NetApp there, and I talked to them, and we really hit it off. The culture at NetApp is really cool, and the people I met there had a lot of fun, and the conversations I had were not just work conversations, but conversations about life, about things that you enjoy doing, and about how you do those things and work at the same time. So we really hit it off, and I got an internship with NetApp for the next summer, and they flew me out to Sunnyvale, California, where I worked on SnapVault as a QA engineer. And once again, that was an awesome experience, and I got to test out some different skills. In my first internship, I did program management, development, and testing, and in this one I focused on testing, working on my technical skills, and that was really cool. And I enjoyed the NetApp environment, but I didn't really like being in California all that much. It's very busy, and I'm from a small town, and it was a little overwhelming. So the next year, I got the opportunity to interview again with NetApp for an internship, but I wanted to try out one of their other offices. It's a benefit of being in a big company. You can check out other places. So I ended up in Raleigh, North Carolina with SAN QA on our ONTAP product. And once again, testing experience, but I had a very different project, and I got to work with different people, different office. The culture was very different. Like, there are similarities, but there are also differences. So I learned technical skills, and I learned new people skills. Now, I came on full-time with NetApp in Raleigh, North Carolina as SAN QA, but I knew over time I wanted to move more customer-facing. So I was upfront about that with my manager, and I highly recommend that for anyone who is new to the industry or interested in getting into the industry or wherever you are. Always be upfront about anything that you really want to do, because it's not going to happen unless you talk about it. So right when I got there, I said, hey, I love speaking, I love talking to people, I want to know more about customers. And my manager said, all right, there are some opportunities for that you can do as a QA engineer. So I was able to participate in various events at NetApp where I built those skills that I use now as a hybrid cloud architect. So how that happened is I always knew that I really wanted to move to the Bellevue, Washington area for a while. So I was looking at positions out there with NetApp, and one happened to open up as a technical marketing engineer, that type of role is generally someone who is technical, but they enjoy speaking, they enjoy interacting with customers, and that sounded like a really good fit. So what I did first was I talked to some people in Raleigh who were technical marketing engineers. And from that, I got some understanding of what the job entailed before I even interviewed for it. So I talked to the team, I talked about what they needed, I talked about the skills that I had, and they thought it was a pretty good fit. So I ended up moving out to Bellevue, Washington, and doing really cool work with hybrid cloud and doing presentations like I've been doing here at Insight. So I've been with NetApp for about 2.5 years now as a full-time employee. And here at Insight, I was presenting 4 sessions on containers in Windows and Linux forms. And that has been a technology that I've been really interested in. I got into that from one of my mentors in Raleigh, North Carolina, Jonathan Rippey, who a lot of people in NetApp are familiar with, was someone that I sat near. We didn't have an official mentorship, or he wasn't even on my team. Wasn't a manager, wasn't anything like that, but I just talked to him. He sat near me, and I asked him what he was doing and to tell me about it, and he gave me a really cool whiteboard session to tell me about that technology. So I highly recommend for anyone who's new, just get up and talk to people. Maybe have someone that you know introduce you to 2 or 3 people that they know, or just get up and walk to a different part of the office and talk to some new people. Getting some experience with people from different backgrounds, talking to them about what they've done and what they're working on is a great way to learn more about what you're interested in. And I think for people who are new, it's very important to get a broad view of the industry first. And this is something I would suggest for anyone who's mentoring new people. Be understanding of their interest in various technologies or fields of interest. Even if it's not exactly what they do all the time, it's great for new people to get some perspective from another role or another type of task that you wouldn't normally do in your team. So I would recommend to mentors to seek out some opportunities that maybe you wouldn't normally think of for someone in your team, but when you see that new person, just say, hey, what are you interested in? I think we have some kind of event coming up where you could participate in a hackathon or talk to a support engineer or hear from one of our executives. Something like that would be really helpful for new people. And so as far as mentorship, I actually go back to my college, Virginia Tech, about twice every year to talk to new college attendees, college students who are graduating, looking for jobs or internships. And I gain a lot out of that experience as more of a mentoring relationship with those students. It's not a long mentoring relationship, but for a few minutes, I'm there and I'm talking to them about something that they want to do maybe someday. I'm someone that they can gain some of that experience that they don't have yet from, which I think is really important for mentors. And when I'm at these conferences, I've noticed that students, one, really want to talk about your career path. Like, for someone who's been in the industry for a while, you may not really think about what parts of your career led you to other parts. Some do, to some extent, but for people who are new to the industry, the oddest things can strike them. Like, oh yeah, I hung out at a hackathon a few weeks ago, and sometimes they'll just light up. Oh, you can do that? As a full-time employee? Yeah. If you look for the opportunities, you can find them. So people who are looking to join the industry or who are new to the industry really want to hear about not only the roles that you've done, but the activities you've done, both inside and outside of work. One of my mentors also does art exhibitions with technology, and that's really cool. He has told me about using technologies outside of work just to learn about them and to display them for the community. So for mentors, I would highly recommend talking not only about what you've done in your career, but maybe what you do outside of it. It humanizes you to the person that you're talking to, and it makes them feel more comfortable that they can talk to you about anything that might be on their mind. To wrap it up a bit, my takeaways for new hires, I would say seek out opportunities, network, and don't be shy about talking about what you want to do to new people. Everybody in the industry that I've met has been really helpful, and when you talk to them about what you want, sometimes they'll have insights that you wouldn't have thought of. For mentors, I would say that you should be cognizant of your new employees' growth in a broad sense, not only deep technical, but also broad. And to talk about not only work things, talk about things that you enjoy, things that you do, challenges that you've faced that might help someone who's just getting started in their career or in their professional life. So I hope this has been somewhat enlightening for you. And this is Kaslin signing out from NetApp Insight.